Put your eyes back in your head.
I felt like flavor, flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.
What's going on? What's going on, people? Your boy, man, Mike here. This is not going to be Michael Anthony, a calm, cool, collected Mad Mike in the morning because I'm still pissed the F off. And before I get started, want to say thank you to everybody again for helping Mad Mike reach his goal of 10K. You guys have been nothing but absolutely great. Whether we agree, disagree, get cussed out, you don't get cussed out. I appreciate everybody for every view, every comment, every subscribe to not only myself but especially guys like Coach Unchained, Six Man K Style, Jew Talk Sports, the Dunn's Favor, Atlanta Falcons Nation, where I can go on and on and on. Big Will, everybody. So I appreciate everybody. OG Sam, Truth. Like I said, I appreciate everybody for continuously supporting our brand and what we do over here. Like I said, if you looking for all that sweet talk, no disrespect, but we don't talk like Aaron Freeman. We don't talk like the people from Chat Sports. We get gangster, we get real, we get intelligent. We show authenticity, okay? We show our real selves, whether it's professional side or where it's the quote unquote hardcore side. We curse. We talk about your mama. We talk about your babysitter. We talk about all that. All right. So that's what we do over here. We authentic, we real about what we do over here. So I'm just gonna be as quick and cold as I can. I'm not happy at all. I'm pissed the fuck off. Okay, and I'm not gonna be happy until I see something different. All right, but I'm not gonna get into straight to the Atlanta Falcons content because I got some other stuff that I'm really pissed off about. You kind of saw a little excerpt of what I was talking about in a short. So you guys, again, hit that subscribe button, man, and make sure that you stay tuned for a lot of our exclusive takes on the Mad Mike membership. All right, we're gonna start doing a lot of exclusive takes with I did some quarterback takes, and a lot of those takes and a lot of those updates that you're going to see is going to be available solely on the Mad Mike membership. So that's only $199, man. Okay, smoke a blunt a month with your boy Mad Mike for $199. Okay, I know y'all can blow trees every day of the week, so you can blow a tree with me once a month for $199. All right, that's the Mad Mike membership for $199. And you're gonna get exclusive takes. You're gonna get exclusive takes, okay? And those takes are gonna be absolutely authentic, no bullshit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We're gonna talk about not only stuff in football, but just football around the Atlanta Falcons. But we're gonna be talking about things that are, around the league. And speaking of around the league, okay. I'm gonna say this right off real, and I just gotta say this because I'm a football fan, and I just hate to see this. I'm a football fan, and I'm a quarterback fan, and what I see what they doing to Bryce Young, like I don't like seeing that shit. Like, you fucking with this man's career. Okay, don't give me this bullshit about you committed to Andy fucking Dalton. You can suck a mean dick for that shit. Who the fuck is committed to Andy fucking Dalton? What the fuck has he ever done to like garner this type of respect, to garner this type of loyalty? He's Andy fucking Dalton. I want to hear nothing about no red fucking rifle. The last time he fucking shot anything with his own goddamn foot with the bullshit play that he's been fucking playing. Like, you trying to tell me that you committed to Andy fucking Dalton, and I'm supposed to look at you like a respectable head coach because I'm committed to Andy Dalton. We ain't gonna pay. This motherfucker threw for 93 fucking yards in a game, and you gonna sit here with a fucking straight face and tell me that you're committed to Andy Dalton? You bench this guy for putting up the same fucking number that Andy Dalton did. Okay? He put up the same fucking numbers that Andy Dalton did, but you trying to tell me that Bryce Young ain't good enough to do that shit? And I'm supposed to look at your organization? I'm supposed to look at your organization like y'all are like you really know what you're doing? They deserve to be slapped, and I mean slapped by their own grandmama, great grandmama from slavery, before Jesus' time. You need to be slapped by every goddamn grandmother and grandfather and kid you abandon all that shit. All right, y'all need to be fucking this is a fucking disgrace to be sitting up here doing this shit to a young quarterback that needs to be on the fucking field. Because he needs to be on the field. If my starting quarterback, you got a quarterback that's supposed to be a veteran and he's putting up 93 fucking yards of passing in a game. Well, he can do that. Don't tell me no bullshit that Bryce Young can't put up 93 fucking yards. Go to hell. Okay, there's nothing you can do to justify this bullshit, what we saying. Let me give y'all some numbers as to why I'm so pissed off about this. And give me a second so I can find but this is the reason why I'm so pissed off about this. It's disgusting. There's nothing you could do to justify this. There's nothing you could say. All you looking like is a dumb jackass saying I'm committed to Andy fucking Dalton. I'm committed to Andy Dalton. For fucking what? Excuse me, I ain't trying to hear your shit, Stephen Ace. So shut the fuck up. All right, let me open up this ESPN app. Some fucking Andy damn Dalton. I'm supposed to be committed to Andy fucking Dalton, the red rifle. The fuck are we talking about? This ain't fucking problem. Okay, so not only they get their ass kicked 40-7. Okay? So he got kicked, they ass kicked. Like they got they behinds whipped. This motherfucker 11 for 16, 93 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked 2 times, and I'm supposed to be committed to that. Okay? 93 a whole 93 yards, and I'm what in the hell is he gonna learn from Andy Dalton throwing 93 yards? What in the bloody hell is he gonna learn from that? This is an absolute disgrace. And for this, I hope, and I mean everything that I'm about to say. I really hope that franchise goes straight into the shitter, where to the point where your old owner loses his franchise. It's because he's playing with guys' career. He's playing with people's money. He's playing with people's career for what? For Andy fucking Dalton to throw 93 yards in a fucking season. This is the exact same shit that Arthur Smith did. This the exact same thing that he did with Desmond Ritter. You trying to tell me that Taylor fucking Heineke was the answer to all our problems? While this guy Desmond Ritter should have been, whether he failed or not. But don't tell me that a guy that's been in the league 7-8 years in Andy Dalton and this guy that's been in the league in Taylor Heineke is going to be the answer to all our issues. And this is one of the main reasons why Jude was so pissed off about this. About us putting Taylor Heineke in. Taylor Heineke is going to be Taylor Heineke. He ain't going to be no better than what he's always been. And you trying to tell me with a straight face that you trying to save face by saying that Andy Dalton is the answer. Just say you don't believe in him. Y'all made a mistake with Bryce Young. And get him the hell out of Carolina. You're wasting this guy's career. You're not bringing in any offensive coordinator that really knows what he's doing. This dude has been a play caller 2 years in his fucking career. That's in high school and one time with the Bucks. That was it. That was the last time he was there. And I'm supposed to believe that this is the answer to the Carolina Panthers. I'm supposed to believe that he's sitting down and watching the absolute shit fest. And he's supposed to learn from Andy Dalton throwing 93 yards in a game. What in the hell are you trying to teach this guy? What is he supposed to learn? What is a young player supposed to learn by looking at a guy absolute play like absolute horse crap? I'm supposed to believe that he's the answer to the Carolina Panthers. It is disgusting and it's despicable. And furthermore, let me go to the next one before I get into this Atlanta Falcons take. Is that another thing? I told you so. Yeah, baby. Matt, Mike, K-Styles, and everybody here, AFN told y'all so about that damn. We told y'all about that damn Justin Fields. It's amazing what a real quarterback can do for you. And you hear what I said? All I heard last night from that bum ass Chris Collinsworth. Yeah, man, that Justin Fields, if we would have had that lane, he would have been still running for 40 yards. Yeah, and your boy George Pickens wouldn't still be pissed off because his quarterback running instead of throwing him the damn ball. I told you so. I told you so. Yeah, we told you so. How about that Pittsburgh Steelers passing game looking so much better? But y'all said that man was done. Oh, I don't forget nothing, John. Yeah, I told y'all. It's about learning how to go through your progressions. All this, he's a runner, he's a track star. Nah, fuck that. We know that what he is. This man in one game he had more yards in one game than Russell Wilson had in that Justin Fields had in 2 games. Let me say that again. Russell Wilson had more passing yards in one game than Justin Fields had in 2 games. But everybody plays a fool. Everybody. Yeah, y'all played a damn fool. Y'all got played a damn fool. Y'all play y'all gotta play. Ain't no fucking overreaction Monday, Tanky Poo, okay? Cause you was the main one that was trying to grab his goddamn prostate, okay? So I don't wanna hear that bullshit you talking. This is exactly what we talking about right here. This man came in and that passing game looked absolutely electric. I even saw a damn smile on Mike Tomlin's face when he saw Russell Wilson out there slinging that thing. And I ain't talking about no Diddy slanging things. I'm talking about Mike. That boy Russell Wilson was slanging that thing like he was slanging that thing to Sierra. That man was out there. That man was out there slinging that damn thing. That passing offense from the Steelers looks so much different. You saw a smile on George Pickens' face, and I'm there here to let you know, as a Georgia fan, it's hard to make that motherfucker smile. That motherfucker wake up angry. He breathes angry. Everything about George Pickens is anger, 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 mad, mad, mad. You think Mad Mike mad? That motherfucker got problems. And you saw a smile on his damn face. Oh, you can suck a dick if you think I'm gonna take back what the fuck I said about Geno. Everything what I said about Geno still, look, it is what it is. I said exactly what it is, and that don't change anything. Geno is Geno. Geno could have you 1, 2, maybe 3 games, but guess what? When you need the most, he gonna fail. So if you think I'm gonna take back what the fuck I said about Geno trash Toretta, no, I'm not. But I'm going to get into what I talked about Russell Wilson, and we're going to get into the Falcons stuff. But this is the reason why you got to have quarterbacks that understand how to go through their progressions. And you saw what the frustrations were. The frustration with George Pickens, obviously, after I looked at everything, is that he just wasn't getting the target, even when he was open. George Pickens was not being seen. Justin Fields wasn't looking at him. He was just checking the ball down. So a lot of those, where you see a lot of his completion percentage, a lot of that has to do with the fact that he was just taking the first and second read. He wasn't really going through his progressions. It's one thing to go through your progressions and have a high completion percentage, but it's another thing to not go through your progressions and then you say 1, 2, get rid of it. Well, for the most part, that's what Justin Fields has been doing. 1, 2, get rid of it. 1, 2, run. And this is why guys like George Pickens, who needs time to be able to get open a lot of times so he can get the ball. Well, he was out here running routes and he's not even given the opportunity to make big plays. Why? Because his quarterback is already making a decision to get rid of the ball under 1, 2 reads. So what that means? Well, what that means is your wide receivers out here running 9 routes for no fucking reason. And as a wide receiver, if you're running 9 routes and you're running 20 yards down the field when you know your quarterback is going to get rid of the ball in 3 seconds, less than 2 seconds, you get pissed off. So this is one of the reasons why George Pickens was so mad and so angry. And this is the reason why Mike Tomlin didn't go out of his way to say that Justin Fields is the answer. He is the quarterback. Because he understood this. And I will get to these. I see your comments. I see you guys' comments, and I promise you I will get to them. And I see quite a few people. Wolf is in here. What's going on? 330, Mr. Toxic. Certified, what's going on? But this is the reason why you have to have quarterbacks to understand how to go through their progressions and give their wide receivers time to actually get open. They're not giving these guys time to get open, and that's the problem. So when you look at what's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, they have a good team, but now you have a quality quarterback that's going to be able to get your playmakers the ball and get everybody the ball, and that's been the problem. Get these playmakers the ball and make sure that your number one receiver is happy. That's one thing. Your job as a quarterback is to make sure your number one receiver is happy. He ain't happy, nobody happy. So let me get into this topic at hand. And I already see a lot of people up here, they're already making excuses. They always talk about us making excuses. That man put on an absolute shit show of a game plan, and y'all sitting up here blaming every player in the fucking universe. That was the worst fucking game plan I've seen this fucking year. Outside of a lot of terrible teams, that shit that he pulled out, he got some fucking nerve to get on the first thing that come out of his fucking mouth. He had the fucking nerve, the audacity, a mitigated gall to sit up here and say that for whatever reason the team came out flat. Because you decided you was going to overlook Seattle and come up with a game plan that y'all did that. Look, it was the same fucking game plan from last week. You gonna come out passing the damn ball when you know the damn running game is working. And you got the mitigated gall to sit up here and say that for whatever reason the team came out flat is because of that bullshit y'all decided to do. Bijan Robinson comes out hot, and guess what? Y'all look, Bijan Robinson came out hot. So instead of using Bijan Robinson and continue to hand him the ball like you did in Carolina, you took the ball out of his hands and say, no, we're not going to run the ball anymore. Nope. No, we weren't even out-coached. We were not out-coached whatsoever. This was a total arrogance. This was complete and utter arrogance for the Atlanta Falcons. And this is the reason why Raheem Morris deserves to be smacked in the fucking face. You came out as a defensive coordinator. And this is why I have this is exactly why I have this man in the picture. Okay? This is why I have him in the fucking picture. This is why I have this man in the fucking picture. You got a wide receiver. You got a fucking linebacker on following a fucking wide receiver. You got a middle linebacker, a guy who ain't even really a middle linebacker, and Caden Ellis following DK fucking Metcalf and a fucking third. And a cover two, you got one of the slowest linebackers covering DK Metcalf down the fucking middle. And newsflash, people, Jimmy Lake's defense is not like that. Jimmy Lake's defense, he like to play man. He doesn't play a lot of zone. Anybody know what happened? Let me ask y'all a question right now. Since y'all want to blame everything on Jimmy Lake and say it's Jimmy Lake's fault, Jimmy Lake, if you knew anything about Jimmy Lake, you know Jimmy Lake like to blitz He like to be very aggressive, and he like to play man. Anybody want to know what that defense was when DK Metcalf threw that caught that touchdown? What was it? Was it man or was it zone? Yeah. Dre Murphy said soft ass zone. Marquise, what's going on? He said Raheem. Agent said zone. Okay. So anybody know where Raheem Morris got his start? Anybody know where he got his start? And who he learned under for the most part? That's the next question. Because this is why I'm gonna tell you why you did wrong for saying this is Jimmy Lake's fault. This man got his he got his no, he didn't get his start with Pittsburgh. This man got his start for the most part under he got his start for the most part under the Mike Tomlin. He learned, but Mike Tomlin learned from Tony Dungy and that Tampa 2. So they ran a lot of Tampa 2. But the thing is, with the Tampa 2, you gotta have the linebackers to even play. You can't run a Tampa 2 if you don't have the personnel to run a Tampa 2, and we're playing that Tampa 2 soft ass zone. So anybody that knows Tony Dungy and his Tampa 2, well, he has to have safeties, some of the best safeties, not so much the best corners, but if you're gonna run that Tampa 2, you gotta have the personnel to even run that Tampa 2. So the fact that you have one of the slowest linebackers on the team playing a deep third, it's not even Jimmy Lake. It's not Jimmy Lake's fault because he's doing exactly what he's told. This is not his defense. Okay, I hate to tell y'all, but anytime you see a lot of zone, this is not Jimmy Lake's. When you start seeing a lot of man coverage and a lot of blitzes, now you're looking at Jimmy Lake being in control. That's what he likes to do. He likes to be aggressive. And when you see a lot of zone, this is all, okay, that is all Raheem Morris. So you're wrong. Everybody that says this is Jimmy Lake's fault, this is not Jimmy Lake's fault. This is all Raheem, because all game long, and especially in the beginning, this is where I have a couple of issues wrong. This is where I have a lot of issues with Raheem Morris. Because you come out against Seattle with a veteran quarterback. Any quarterback in the league, it doesn't matter how great you may perceive. We have let, and this is the reason why in the very beginning I was so fucking pissed off about hiring Raheem Morris, because I was afraid we were going to play the same soft ass zone. And god damn it, we are doing exactly that. We're not taking any chances. We're not being aggressive. We're not playing the Tampa 2. We're not doing any of that. We're not being physical enough with our DBs. We're just giving guys 5, 8 yards. This has been happening every single game. And one of the reasons why you look at stats too is why you just can't look at stats and say, all right, this is the main reason why the Falcons are 9th in passing. It's because teams are running like crazy on us. So there's no reason to continuously throw the damn ball, because the Falcons giving up damn near 6-7 yards a pop. So a lot of times those passing numbers, as far as our pass defense, could be a little bit overrated. But one of the things that I did like is the fact the Falcons were making plays when it mattered most. As long as you're making plays when it mattered most, I can look past that. But the moment you start doing stuff like this, paying 5, 6, 7 yards over, and just giving these quarterbacks like a Geno Smith, you giving these guys easy throws. You giving DK Metcalf 5 yards, 7 yards off. You don't think he gonna take those slants and do something with them? You don't think that DK Metcalf, Lockett, and those guys are not going to make big plays if you get them 7 to 8 yards right off the rip? And this has been happening all year, where we play so far off. One of the plays that really pissed me off, and I know it pissed off K-Styles, is that we saw it's 3rd and I think it was like 3rd and 12 against the Kansas City Chiefs. So they need about, I think it was like 3rd and 12. Don't know exact, but it was in the end zone, the red zone. And I think they need like 12 yards to get a first down. Well, guess what happened? They decided to play every DB at the goal line. Play that off coverage. What did the Chiefs do? Well, they went a bunch set, trip set, and decided that they were going to check the ball down. I think it was Juju Smith-Schuster, and he took that pass and scored a touchdown. So we're seeing this consistently with Raheem Morris as far as his defense is concerned. There's not been a lot of things on his defensive side of the ball that is improving. I'm not seeing a lot of improvement. I'm seeing players make plays, but as far as the pass rush, this is the first time that I've seen the pass rush this consistent. I've seen the linebackers, they have good games and they have bad games. They have good games, they have bad games. Defensive line, good games and bad games. Not getting to the quarterback, they're not stopping the run and not getting consistent pressure. I'm not seeing a lot of progress with this team. I'm not seeing a lot of changes. He's doing the exact same thing what Dan Quinn was doing. Came in here with that fake tough guy shit, talking about, our defense is going to be rough. We're going to be tough. We're going to get after the quarterback. We're going to blitz. Well, we ain't seeing none of that shit. You came in against Seattle, didn't get any pressure for the most part. I mean, let me take that back because that's not true. They actually did get pressure. This is actually the highest. This is probably the highest. As a matter of fact, I think I got that in here from Tori McElhaney, and I got to give a shout out to Sandra for that. So this is from Tori McElhaney. She said, a note for the Falcons pass rush. Geno Smith was under pressure 50% of his dropbacks against the Falcons, the highest pressure rate faced in the game this season. The Falcons generated more pressure without blitzing against Seattle than they have any other game, generating 50%, a season high 50% pressure rate in 4 or few rushers. Smith was productive against pressure, though completing 7 to 13 for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's that. So this just goes back to what I was saying about this soft ass coverage. Why the fuck are we consistently playing off? You're getting after the quarterback, you're getting pressures, but if you're paying 7 yards off, you're defeating the purpose of even playing fucking cup. Like you're defeating the purpose of getting after the fucking quarterback because you're giving quarterbacks easy throws. You're defeating the purpose of getting after the quarterback as he 5-7 yards away. What's the freaking purpose? What's the purpose of having these guys, bringing these guys in, if you're going to play 7 yards away from them? You giving DK, you giving Geno easy throws on the notion of, oh, I'm going to get turnovers. Who the fuck cares if you giving these guys easy throws? And you wondering why Geno Smith and these quarterbacks are getting into a rhythm is because we're giving them easy throws. You're getting to the quarterback and you're not paying enough man. And I don't really have a problem with playing man, but you can't give these guys easy throws. If you believe in your DBs, stop playing off so freaking much. What's the freaking point if you're going to be paying, if you're going to get after the quarterback, 50%, okay, 50% of the snap the Falcons got after the quarterback. So I don't want to hear anything about Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, Judon is not getting after the quarterback because it's not true. They are getting after it. But when you're playing 7 yards off, it doesn't matter if you get to the quarterback. Because you're giving the quarterback an easy slant, an easy hitch route, an easy catch. These guys are easy. These are easy catches. So what all quarterbacks are doing right now and what offensive coordinators are doing, they're sitting 2 to 3 guys deep and then they'll run a guy underneath. And what we saw, what did we see yesterday? By at least 4 shots in the middle of the field with Lockett, DK Metcalf, these guys wide open by themselves because you're playing so far off. These guys had at least 4 shots where they was wide open in the middle of the field. No, not a safety near him, not a cornerback near him, not a linebacker near him. All these guys are paying 5 to 7 yards back, and we giving these guys easy. And you think an offensive coordinator, any offensive coordinator in the league is not going, they're not going to attack that? And this is exactly what we're seeing. And then you have the fucking nerve to get on TV when somebody asks you what happened. Well, for some reason we came out flat. It's because you gave them easy yards and you gave them easy throw. You give a quarterback, especially a guy that's been in the league for 10 years, and no, Geno ain't trash, but he ain't damn good. He gets off on the fact that teams don't respect that he can at least make the right read. This is why Seattle is passing for so many yards, because teams just looking at him saying, well, he's Geno Smith. He's not going to make the right read. He's a backup. That's what he's always going to be. He's going to be a valuable backup. He's going to be a quality starter. But if you're looking for Geno to win championships, he's just not, look, he's not clutch. He's not any of that. So it's disgusting for your head coach to sit up here and tell a fucking lie to the world, because that's what he did. He lied. He lied to the journalists. He lied to the Falcons about we're going to play aggressive. You playing that same weak shit that I was afraid of. The first thing when we hired him as the Atlanta Falcons head coach, I made a video. I said one of the main reasons why I did not like it is because he gonna come here and play that third soft ass Dan Quinn defense, and he said he's learned from it, and obviously he ain't learned a motherfucking thing. He ain't learned crap. And then you wondering why I'm upset. You wondering why people are upset. It's because we're doing the exact same thing that got his ass fired and Dan Quinn fired from the very beginning. Playing that soft ass zone. Playing 5 yards away from a guy, just giving them easy throws. Guys are getting after the quarterback. The Falcons had this is a season high for pressures and getting sacks for the most part. And guess what? He ruined it by what? Not being aggressive with his secondary. Playing 5 yards, 6 yards off. Giving them easy throws. And then you wondering why guys are making plays. You putting your slowest middle linebacker. You putting your slowest linebacker at middle linebacker and say, go cover a deep third. Go cover a DK Metcalf. Stay next to a DK Metcalf. If that ain't fucking stupidity, I don't know what. Don't tell me that it was Jimmy Lake's fault. That is all Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris is a zone guy. He loves zone. That's what he come from. That's his background. But the problem that I have is not the zone, it's the personnel that go with the zone. So now we can say, all right, do the Falcons really have the personnel right now? No, they don't, because I think that's true. Like if Troy Anderson would have been there, then I'd been more comfortable with it. But the fact that Troy isn't there makes it that much worse for a guy to continuously do that. They had 2 touchdowns thrown on the Atlanta Falcons, and both of them was because of both were because of Caden Ellis in coverage. But you're too fucking egotistical. You're too arrogant to make the decision to sit his punk ass down, or at least put him to the outside and bring in J.D. Bertrand. He couldn't have been no motherfucking worse than what we saw from Caden. Caden was an absolute atrocity yesterday. But instead of him being a man and making those adjustments, he decided he just want to, I want to trust my vitamin. I want to trust again. I like Caden. No, fuck that. Caden is fucking up today. He ain't got it today. And this is exactly what get young coaches fired, because the egos. This is what happened. It's the same thing that happened to Arthur. Egos. Now I can sit up here and talk about the offensive plays, and then we had guys. And then we're saying, guys, it was a couple of defensive penalties, just stupid penalties, where extended drives. They got off in the extended drives. Like I said, all this is Raheem. He did not have his defense ready to play, and he tried to make it a we. No, this is your fault. You came up with that weak-ass game plan on defense, and Seattle got off on it. That's your fault. If you don't come in with the right game plan against any team, your team is not going to be prepared. You did not have the right game plan for this team. What goes into another point. What in the hell was he thinking with having Taquan Graham started? Explain that shit to me. Explain to me why Taquan Graham received almost 20 fucking snaps in the first couple of quarters, and David Onyemata didn't see anything. Explain that to me. Explain to me why David Onyemata was sitting on the damn bench majority of the first fucking quarter. Why Geno Smith and those guys were just destroying it. And then for the most part, the second half of the game, you didn't even see they take on Graham no more. See, this is exactly what we're talking about coaching. Coaching can lose games for players because you got to be able to understand what your players are, who they are, and have the right game plan. You can't come out with these guys playing 5 yards off and then say, all right, AJ, cover DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf already got a 5-yard cushion. Look, y'all can kiss. Look, y'all can kiss my neck. I'm not hearing that. I don't want to hear it happens. That's bullshit. Losing games happen. I have no problem with losing games, but I got a major fucking problem when you play like a fucking punk. When you play like a fucking pussy. The Falcons play like pussies. Playing soft fucking zone. You got Caden Ellis fucking playing coverage. No, that's some punk pussy shit the Falcons play like. All fucking game, all you saw was Falcons 5-10 yards away from everybody. I don't want my defense playing 5-10 yards away from guys, giving them easy throws. That's some pussy shit right there. That's some scary shit. That is not a game plan. That is not a defensive game plan. That's an offensive game plan. Try not to get hurt. That's what fucking punters do. I'm scared of DK. Let's get 10 yards away from him. And y'all got to stop with this 4-3 or 3-4 shit. All right. There's no look. I'm gonna tell you one thing about 4-3 defense. It's easier to pass on a 4-3 defense than it is in a 3-4. The 3-4 defense is gonna always have an advantage over 4-3. This is why Pittsburgh has been all the great defenses that you've seen in the league. Some of the greatest defenses of all time have been in the 3-4. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, okay? Some of the greatest defense, even the great Giants with Lauren Taylor, have been in 3-4. 3-4 is the best defense. So I'm sorry to bust y'all bubble, but the 4-3 defense is much easier to pass against than the 3-4, which is why a lot of the great defenses have been in 3-4s. Do your research. The thing with the 3-4 is that you don't know where it's coming from. With a 4-3, you know where everybody is, you know where everybody's coming from. This is where the zone blitz concept came from, because of you don't know where it's coming. You don't know where the pressure is coming from. So when we talk about whether or not, you know, this team is where this defense, like whether it's 3-4, 4-3, most teams, that most great teams, the most good teams, even look at the Patriots for the longest of time. They've been in 3-4. Look at the Jets, 3-4. So some of the greatest defenses have always been in 3-4. This right here, Auntie. This right here. What got me is when they had 10 seconds left before the halftime and allowed Geno Smith to hit DK for that. Again, that was playing that soft zone. You allowed him to get confidence because you kept giving him easy throws. That's what happens when you allow any quarterback in the NFL. Don't matter who it is. We let some of the sorriest. We let PJ Walker go like completely destroy us because we gave him confidence in that weak ass zone. This is exactly why I was upset. We let PJ Walker have one of the greatest games of his life, and he never did anything after that. But we allowed him to get in the rhythm because we playing them soft zones. So anytime you play them soft zone, you allow quarterbacks to get into a rhythm. I don't want to hear nothing about. I don't want to hear nothing about. We need better personnel when you got personnel. JD Bertrand is a better athlete than Caden Ellis in that situation. So the Falcons have players. Even if you put a safety right there in that situation, you can't have your slowest linebacker in that position because JD is a younger player and he's much more athletic than Caden Ellis. But we got Caden Ellis in coverage against DK Metcalf. Just think about this. DK Metcalf. We got Caden Ellis on DK Metcalf chasing behind DK Metcalf. So this is not a personnel issue. This was a common sense issue. You don't have a middle linebacker chasing after DK Metcalf and say, "Yep, you need to guard a wide receiver." That's just ignorant. See, these things right here is what get coaches fired because they experiment with things they shouldn't be experimenting with. There's no reason for this man to be sitting up here putting Caden Ellis in coverage when you got a young look. There's nothing he can say to convince me to say that JD Bertrand wouldn't be a better option than Caden Ellis in that position. Even if you put him in that one play, he's a better option in that time. Because the only thing that you want to do with 10 seconds left in the game is just to stop that one play. So you're going to get your most athletically gifted guy to stop that play. You want to put your speed guys in on that one play because you know what? They're going to throw the ball. So guess what you're going to do? Put your better speed guys, your speed rushers, and you're going to put your fastest athletic linebackers in that position. And they didn't do that. Don't mind Tanky Poo, okay? That boy needed a lobotomy, okay? He probably don't have a lobotomy. So when we talk about on time, I'm letting Caden drop back as if he Isaiah Simmons or Parsons. We got those guys. And like I said, this is the problem that I have. I'm gonna say this, guys. I'm not angry with anybody, and I'm not angry with any of our players. This right here was all on Raheem Morris. These are the things that in game, like you don't call the plays to begin with, and you still making dumb fucking decisions. Jimmy Lake called the plays. Zach Robinson called the plays. So what in the fucking hell are you thinking? Allowing this to happen. What are you thinking? Allowing this and seeing your guys, you see Caden Ellis consistently getting targeted by the offense, and you don't make a change. You start out the game with Taquan Graham when you know David Onyemata is your best defensive tackle in that position, but you decide that you want to put Taquan Graham in there, and Taquan Graham got smoked. And we didn't see him we didn't see a lot of him after that first and second quarter. I'm not mad. I am so not mad. One, I'm not mad at Kirk Cousins, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. I'm not mad at the offensive line. I'm not mad at the wide receivers, even though they did drop some passes and Kirk made some bad throws. The offensive line was just going down with injuries, just one of those games. But I'm so pissed off with the offensive game plan and the defensive game plan. We heard the footsteps. We heard the crying ass, punk ass people that keep talking about, I need Tyler Algier. He's rough. He's tough. We need to get him the ball. We need to throw for 400 yards again. Even when Kirk Cousins telling y'all, hey, bro, y'all, I think y'all need to focus on running the ball. No, y'all didn't do that. Y'all went right back to the game plan, trying to throw the ball and make Kirk Cousins a superhero. Well, he's always a fucking superhero. Let's get that ball to Bijan because it was a Bijan and Kyle Pitts day. Drake London, okay, but it wasn't his day. It wasn't Kirk Cousins. He made a ton of he missed a ton of easy throws that he typically made. Why? It's because you tried to do too damn much. When you got Bijan Robinson on fire the way he was on fire, why are you continuously trying to drop back? When you're losing your center, your guard, you lost both of those guys, and you still trying to drop back and force Kirk Cousins to throw when the running game is obviously working. And let's keep this real about Tyler Algier. He had one run for 24 yards, but every other run was not effective. And this is what we're talking about, effective runs. Bijan Robinson was more effective this game. So we should have been using Bijan Robinson and a ton of play action, and we didn't do that. And the crazy thing about this, Kirk Cousins has always been a better play action guy than he is a stand in the pocket guy. So this is the reason why I say this is coaching. This is a coaching issue. The Atlanta Falcons are not going to win championships if we have coaches consistently putting them in situations where we're not maximizing their skills. Just like that, just like Tubo when Dan Quinn let Kyle call plays in the past, and like I said, the Falcons are doing one thing too. Falcons are doing one thing that I don't agree with it at all. They're using misdirection as if it's play action, and it's not. And they went right back to that pistol formation. They went right back to the pistol formation when we started losing offensive linemen, what I just did not understand. We started losing offensive linemen and say, yep, let's go to the pistol formation. These are the things that you talk about all the time. Are you going to learn from your mistakes? Nope, the Falcons went right back to square one. You got you got 1, 2 steps, 3 steps, got to that 4th step and say, oh shit, I'm there, boy. We here. Got to that 4th step and guess what happened? You fell all the way down to step 1. Went right back. You reverted right back to where you were in the beginning because you got egotistical. You took Seattle for granted. So I am not upset with Youngway, Koo and all those guys missing kicks. This is all on the coaching. The coaching lost because they didn't have their guys ready to play because of the game plan. How you have your guys ready to play is do what they do best and have the right game plan for them. So if you got a guy here that's not used or he's not accustomed to being a 3-point shooter, but he's one of those streaky guys and he needs a couple of shots to get warmed up, well, you need to get him warmed up before you start saying, hey, I think you should start shooting 3-pointers now. Falcon just came out and said, nah, I think we're going to shoot a 3-pointer first. We're gonna start this throwing up half court shots like we Steph Curry when you really Dennis Rodman. This is what the Atlanta Falcons did. I don't want to hear nothing about, for whatever reason we came out flat. Well, you shouldn't know when you come out flat, then you need to go back to the basics. Exactly what you was talking about. Exactly what K-Style was talking about. You need to go back to the basics. Nope, you didn't do that. You did not do that. You came out here trying to make big plays right off the bat, and then you got embarrassed yet again at home. in front of your fans. And if I was a fan, I wouldn't have, to be honest, I wouldn't have mind if they would have walked out. I would have threw a fucking a bagel at goddamn Raheem for this shit. They should have threw a water bottle at his ass because of this bullshit that we saw. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to see a head coach that a guy that's been in the league a good 15 years make the same fucking close to it. Making the same mistake that got him, like, for one, making the same mistake that got him fired, and he's seen what it got got other guys fired. You came in and do the exact same thing. So Raheem Morris is at 110% at fault because he's the one who agreed to this dumbass game plan. Yeah, a lot of people did. I heard that too. That a lot of people Kirk threw that interception. But that's the whole thing. Yep. So I would have threw water bottles and everything. Make sure make sure the motherfuckers feel, Falcons fans gotta understand. Like, one thing I don't like about Falcon fan, they would rather tweet on Twitter than show their frustration at the game. Sometimes you gotta cuss the fucking, like, you gotta throw shit at these games. You gotta make sure that these players know that, look, bro, we ain't gonna tolerate this bullshit. Throw a paper airplane or something, goddamn. Make sure them motherfuckers, make sure that they understand that this shit, when you at the game, make sure they know. The head coach, the player, that no, we not gonna put up with this shit. We gonna boo the shit out of you. You keep doing this particular thing. I don't want you to go home and tweet and tag them. I want you to do it while they there. Because looking at that game and how that defense played, it's disgusting. It was disgusting to watch. Like, everybody in the world, look, one thing I saw, which game was it? It was Pittsburgh, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I was watching Pittsburgh last night. And Russell Wilson I think he got out to like 2-7. And those fans were booing the shit out of him. They were booing the hell out of the offense. See, this is the stuff that we should be doing as fans. We don't do that. We just sit on our damn hands. We don't say a damn thing. We just, sit there with a sad face. Nope, sometimes you got to boo the shit out of them. It's like, hey, get this shit together. Nope, we don't do that as fans. They booed the shit out of them while they was at home. See, that's what fans should be doing in Atlanta. Like I said, all this tweeting and shit, fuck that. When you there, boo the shit out of that offense. Boo the shit out of that defense. What's going on, Blackberry? Good. Not happy about this coaching. Not happy about this coaching whatsoever. Russ heard them damn boo loud as hell, and he said, "Nah, we got to do something about this." But that's the thing what I'm talking about. I don't see this with Atlanta Falcons fans. Y'all don't boo when we have bad series, a bad defensive series. Y'all should be booing the shit out of them when they had terrible. I'm talking about stuff like having penalties after penalty after penalty. We had like 3 false starts when it was quiet as hell in the damn. No, like what is that? Gotta do better than this. And like I said, that's my biggest freaking issue with what I saw. Is that it was a terrible game plan from the beginning, and the Falcons should. And if I hear this, if I see this same game plan again, yeah. What do you think about the Browns booing Deshaun Watson? I don't like it. I don't like it, man. I mean, he doesn't do himself any favors. And he hasn't done himself any favor, but I am not. I'm not cool with booing the guy's injury. I just don't think it's something that I wouldn't have done. But other people, they look. It is what it is. Y'all asked for Deshaun Watson, and now when y'all got what y'all got, and y'all paying them $250 million guaranteed, y'all want to boo him. So, I mean, you got what you got. I wasn't in favor of paying them that money from the beginning, but y'all wanted it. Y'all got it. So, you can't boo now. So, like I said before, when it comes down to this Atlanta Falcons team, man, I don't have a problem with losing or it just not being your night. But when I see terrible coaching, that pisses me off more than players not playing well. I just offensively they did nothing. They did nothing to capitalize off Bijan Robinson being hot. Nothing. Bijan Robinson got hot. They said, all right, let me start throwing the ball now. No play action. We just said we're going to start throwing the ball. Throwing the ball sideways. Swing passes to wide receivers and shit. Like, what the fuck is that? Bijan Robinson hot. He's hitting the inside, outside. The dude just hot. And get what they answer to everything is start doing swing passes. Yeah, like it was straight drop, no play action whatsoever. Like that's terrible coaching. This was a perfect game to sit up here and make sure that Kyle Pitts got as many touches because everybody know when there's play action, when the running game is work, the play action to the tight end, play action to those slot receivers and big receivers like Drake London, it started to work. But nope. They started trying to drop back. And this is where Seattle just pinned their ear back and just got at them. And they don't even really have a good defensive line like that. But they made the Falcons look silly because They knew exactly what was coming. And William, like William Paul, this is what you talked about. The Falcons have no identity as far as offensively what they want to be. They don't know if they want to drop back and throw the ball deep, throw the ball, play action, run the ball. They have no identity. The Falcons have to choose something. They have to choose on what they want to be. And right now, we just don't see it. No, I don't think that's it. It's bad game planning. Sometimes your quarterback, but this what goes with having a young offensive coordinator. When you see your quarterback isn't in a good rhythm, you got to give him easy throws. That again, that goes back to common sense. It's coaching. When you see your players, and especially your quarterback, where you know he's missing throws, don't keep throwing the ball deep downfield. That's what happened. Falcons just kept throwing the ball deep downfield. Give him easy throws. Give him easy throws so he can get into a rhythm. Nope, that didn't happen. They started saying, "Hey, he's Kirk Cousins." Motherfucker don't have a killer instinct, and I that goes back to just I think it's arrogance. Again, I thought this was just an arrogant. I really thought it was an arrogant game, and I thought the last 3 games or so, the Falcons offensively they did have that killer instinct. They gave the ball to the hot players, and then they just went away from it. Bijan got hot, and they stopped giving it to him. I think he had like 100 yards. I think Bijan had dang near 100 yards in the first half, and then they barely touched the ball in the second half. Nothing was set up to get him in the rhythm. I don't know about controlling the time of possession. I just think when you got a hot player, your play calling should be designed around them. So, for instance, Bijan Robinson, he's killing it as far as the outside zone running scheme. Don't bring Tyler Algier in to run inside zone running scheme because the outside zone running scheme is working. So what happens when you got the outside zone running scheme? The best thing for that is to run bootlegs and drags off of those outside zone running scheme. What Kyle Shanahan is notorious for. So when you have that, that's what happens. And I didn't see any of that. And the turnovers, like I said, it's not that it really we gotta stop looking at the numbers, and that's why Raheem, I understand what he said, like stats of the losers, is it really not the stats. For him, it's the rhythm and how you call plays off of those. And that's the thing that we like they're missing. And you get turnovers, you get penalties off of those things, and that's what happens. So that's like you gotta capitalize. You gotta adjust your game plan when the running game is working. You gotta adjust when the running game is working, you gotta adjust your passing game to that running game for whatever's working. And for this game, I think they did a horrible job about that. especially on that long drive for the half. All they did, they caught the Falcons in a speed. They had one of their speed packages in there, and then what happened was they kept running tempo. They changed the tempo, and they kept those guys on. So it was just bad coaching from the beginning. And then what happened once they caught them in that when they caught them in those packages on those line changes, they kept, and this is what's been happening with the Atlanta Falcons. Teams have been, I think it started with Kansas City. They caught the Falcons I think they caught them in a small lineup, and that's when they started. And that's been happening the last couple of games. Teams have been catching them in their line changes, and then teams have been catching them in line changes, and those guys have just been doing a horrible job. They catch them in the line change, and then they can't get them off the field because teams are getting easy throws. So Raheem has to do something about his line changes. And figure out who the best guys are and go from there. So tonight we got a lot going for you. Look, I don't want to talk about Jalen Walker right now. I'll get to that. I think it's premature. Jalen Walker still got to show me something. I don't get happy off for a couple of games. Jalen Walker got to be more consistent. I don't want to hear nothing about guys doing this in college. He got to dominate, and I'm talking about dominate every game. I don't care that he did it against Texas. He need to do that consistently. I done seen a lot of Jalen Walkers have a good couple of games. Nolan Smith, we've seen that before. I've seen Nolan Smith and all those guys at Georgia, Walker, Trayvon Walker, like all those guys. I done seen that shit before. So I don't care nothing about Walker looking good against a couple of teams. I need to see it consistently. So in time, we'll get to that. But check us out tonight, man. This evening, 6-man K-Style. Myself, we're going to be going live around 6 o'clock for the originators. So with that being said, this has been your boy, man, Mike, man. Like I said, continue to support you boys here. Well, you just saying that because you're a Georgia fan. I'm a Georgia fan too, but I'm not. I don't get carried away with all that fandom. You got to show me something. You got to show me something. I don't care about you playing that way against one team. I need to see that consistently, and Georgia hasn't been doing that. So until they show me something consistently, I'm done. Yeah, I don't get happy over that. So, like I said before, this has been your boy, man, Mike. Check us out. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the originators. Myself, 6-man K-Style. Obviously, we're going to have a few people on. But with that being said, I'm out of here, man. Peace.
Put your eyes back in your head.
Like flavor, flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skim the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.